Hey everyone, I'm Antonio.
And I'm Alicia. We've been married going on 20 years. We're a family of five. We have a daughter and two sons.
Welcome to our YouTube channel, Seeds of B&G Farms. That's right, you heard right, farms. We're starting the homestead slash farm slash figure it out, and we would like to invite you all along on this journey as we figure it out. A lot of our friends and family have asked, how do we get to this point? What made us want to kind of leave the neighborhood and move out into the middle of nowhere? And how do we get to this point?
I feel like we were just like all into all the new shows about container life and farm life, and people just wanting to grow their own food. Not just on TV, but I feel like we both was kind of like looking at YouTube, everything about it. Um, and basically, I feel like we were just looking at it and dreaming about it and just hoping, one day, like maybe when the kids are gone, like we're
That's what
old,
everybody
retired.
says.
I feel like that's what we were.
That's what everybody says. Hey, when I get older, when I retire, this or that, I'm gonna move here and move there. I
Right.
think for me, I was looking at YouTube, not necessarily on people moving and moving out into the country and stuff like that. I was actually looking at this guy Hunt. I think it's like outdoor life with C&B or something like that. I'll link it in the description. But it's a guy that hunts, he fishes and stuff like that. And one day I noticed he was hunting on his own land, and then he started clearing his own land. And I was like, wait a minute, people have land that they can hunt on?
Yeah.
And that's what made me start looking at land, because I wanted to purchase some hunting land and eventually, when I get old, move out there. But that's not what happened. I actually enjoy living in the neighborhood. We actually, my job allowed us to purchase a kind of a, what do you call it? A commercial spot that we could work out of within the neighborhood. So
And the kids' schools was
yeah,
in this neighborhood. It's like an athletic community. So they basically was walking to school, elementary, middle school. They had little shops in the neighborhood. Very popular neighborhood. So it's like coffee shops and um,
yeah.
what is it? I'm sorry. What is it called?
Pelicans, ice,
Yes.
something like that.
Yes.
You know, I had dominoes,
Yeah.
a pool, a gym. Our house was pretty nice. We thought our house was pretty nice, but the whole neighborhood is pretty nice, and it's kind of kid oriented to where
Right.
it's a family neighborhood, and it's one of those well sought after neighborhoods. But like I said, one day things changed. We just woke.
And I guess we can backtrack too, because
Okay. Backtrack. Excuse me.
also I'm a nurse and I have been working, and then with the pandemic and everything, things got a little stressful for me. I started gardening and in the back. So in the backyard, I had my own little area. Tony bought me some raised beds, and I was growing, lettuce,
Corn.
corn, squash, cucumbers, carrots, and just going out picking that, eating that, and that was like really fulfilling and peaceful. Yeah, I just found myself going out and just spiritually like being connected and enjoying it a lot, and it changed a lot for me how I felt. And then my mind just kind of went bigger, and I started praying for more and hoping for more. So
And while we've already backtracked, we had just put in last summer. We
Oh,
put in a
yeah.
33-foot saltwater semi-in-ground pool. So like I said, we had no intentions, no thoughts of moving
Nope.
the way and the speed of which we did.
Right.
We pretty much did no prep. I woke up early one Saturday morning. I think Leisha slept in, or maybe I just woke up way earlier than I normally would on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And my mind was racing 100 miles per hour. I started taking pictures off the wall. I had no clue why I was taking pictures off the wall and kind of stacking them up. Next thing you know, I'm sitting in a chair. I'm just sitting there crying. No one's woke yet, so I'm just sitting there like balling out of control I had no reason to be crying. Alicia woke up and came around the corner. She's like, "What's going on?" I said, "I don't think we're gonna be living here much longer," and we both kind of sat there for a while
and start crying together.
Yep. And
Yeah.
once all the tears dried up, we finished packing this one room or taking stuff off the walls, headed out to Lowe's.
No kids woke up and they're like, "What are y'all doing?
Yep.
What do you mean?" They thought we was joking.
But
And then the sign was in the yard.
we boxed everything up. We called our realtor, who's awesome, who's helped us sell a house and buy a house in the past. And I said, hey, this is what I'm thinking. He said, say no more. Let's make it happen. So that was one Saturday. By the next Saturday, we had painters inside the house painting the whole house. We moved out.
And I also want to say, we weren't too worried about selling a house because, like you said, the neighborhood is popular neighborhood, the market is just crazy right now. So we won't really worry about that. So that was a good thing too that we
definitely.
had that.
But
so,
in my mind, I made a plan that we was gonna move out, rent a house,
right,
and be good to go until our house got built. I've always said if we moved out of the house that we was living in, it would be on the side of the road with some land, and we'll build a single-story house, a ranch style.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the plan. So that Saturday morning, we hired some guys, paid a good chunk of change to have them move us out into this house that we found. You know, I've tried the Zillow, you know, all of the popular things that you try when you're trying to find a place to rent or a house. And then I got desperate at the end because nothing was working out, and I ventured off into Craigslist. Oh boy.
And also, because of this market, not only is houses like selling, but it's the renting is crazy. So everyone's trying to rent, everyone's trying to get land, like.
Yeah, so it didn't matter the fact that we could afford the place, that I was willing to pay extra.
Mm-hmm.
It was the fact that I was saying, hey, we want a 12-month lease, and then people was coming in saying they want a 36-month lease.
Right.
Like I think the homeowners, they would rather have someone or some concrete income and cash for 36 months versus 12, which I don't blame them. But what happened to us as I ventured off on Craigslist, someone stole pictures from Zillow and pretty much sold the house as their own.
Mm-hmm.
And with the new ways that they have of showing houses where it's all controlled by apps and things like that, everything looked legit. We had a lease in hand. We had paid the what do they call it? This is our first time renting, by the way. Like we came out of the military straight into, we stayed with Alicia's mom, and then we moved into a house. Then we moved into another house. So this is our first time actually trying to figure out how to rent a place. But yeah, we paid the deposit and everything, and then we start figuring out. Well, Alicia figured out, hey, something's not adding up. I think we're being scammed. So we did everything we needed to do. Called the police and did that. This story could get crazy and long,
right.
But we ended up getting our money back because the scammer couldn't get his money because I just forgot to send him a photocopy of my ID. I forgot. I probably would have done it and we would have been out of cash, but we was moving so fast I forgot to do it. So lucky enough for that, we was able to get our cash back.
And I just like to bring up like how calm and the trust that you have in God and knowing like everything's gonna be okay. So calm. I'm crying, but it's more so like literally in a closet war room. If you haven't seen the movie, you need to see it. But I literally was crying but praying in the closet.
I more so have that Steven Seagal calmness to where I just need to get to my bag of tricks and have somebody to put with this wrong that I've been done.
Yeah.
But just having faith in God that He'll figure it out, that we're in His hands, and everything's happened for a reason. But that brings us to where we are now. As you see, of course, the house didn't get built that fast, and of course, you don't know our timeline yet. So all of this happened at the beginning of June, and right now we're at the beginning of August. So this brings me to just being thankful that family is available to bail us out.
Just support us.
Yeah. You know, everybody was happy for us as we moved. Like, we moved into a house. If you don't understand, we was squatting. We squatted for the weekend, and
Right.
then found out on Sunday afternoon that we needed to be out of that house because it was not legit. So
Right.
my mom pulled together some of her friends, and they moved us out. And I had hurt my back at the time. I think, what was it? Sciatic nerve.
Yes.
I hurt my back, but my back wasn't hurting. My legs was hurting. But that was weird, and I couldn't help move anything.
Nope.
So we pretty much had blown our money, our moving money, on people moving us into the house. And my mom pulled together some of her friends, and they moved us out of the house and into a storage room. My mom ended up keeping my German Shepherd at her house. We bought a kennel, cedar chips. So we pretty much made a home away from home for the dog. And Alicia's mom allowed my whole family of 5, as well as our cat, to come to her house, all while this is happening. And we can't say enough thank yous to them,
Right.
just for being available to allow for us to keep our dreams alive, and just realizing that what we're trying to do is bigger than the moment.
Yes.
Um,
Well
But the end of July, we went to Jamaica. It was already planned. We planned it maybe at the beginning of the year to go to Jamaica. This year. It was postponed from last year.
because
But
the pandemic got canceled.
we went to Jamaica. The day before we went to Jamaica, we signed and paid for our land. We got close to 3.5 acres. I think it's like 3.38 or somewhere in there. It's close to 3.5 acres. Okay. But we're thrilled to death to have that, and just right now we're in the planning phase of what we want to do on it, what we want to grow, what kind of animals we want to have. We've already have a home builder and planned everything for
A farmhouse.
our farmhouse. So we're just thankful to God, and we just want to invite you all
Yes.
to please like, comment, subscribe. This is kind of that intro video, but I promise you it's going to be many bloopers and just fun stuff from the kids and Alicia and I, as we're trying to figure out how to be farmers. I think Alicia's grandparents maybe had some farm animals. I know my grandparents
Chicken and pigs.
had gardens and animals and things like that when I was growing up. So we're gonna see if any of that kind of lives in us. As I'll go back real quick before we close out of this video. I know it's already 13.5 minutes, but our channel, Seeds of B&G Farms, we are the seeds of our grandparents,
Right.
who the B
Is my grandmother. Her name is Beatrice, but we call her B. So that's where the B comes in.
and my grandmother's name is Egeria. So if you can imagine, no one could actually say that, especially if they tried to read it, it would always come out Egra. So we just called her G. So we are Seeds of B&G Farms. And just so you know, we did lose both of our grandparents
Yes.
during the year of COVID, 2020. So this is our way of just making sure that their legacy lives on.
Right.
And that's all I have. Like, comment, subscribe,
Please do.
and we'll see you later. Thank you.
All right. You ready?
You ready?
I'm ready.
How do we get to this point?